Hello, hello, hello. I'm back again. Your main, the real Bill Real. I'm going to take you to class today. I'm going to first start off with a Bible verse. And this Bible verse is coming from Jude, chapter 1, verse 16. This is what it says. These people are grumblers and fault finders. They follow their own evil desires. They boast about themselves and flatter others for their own advantage. Yeah, that's right out your book. Now, there are many Bible verses that paint a very clear picture of who black people are, but few of them hit it more on the nail than this one. And the reason why I'm referencing this Bible verse is so that I can set up this video for you. For all of the people who will call you a coon, a bootlicker, an apologist for racist white people, all right? This is the reason why I read this Bible verse to you first, so that you'll understand that black people can kill other black people. Black people don't bat an eye. Black people don't protest. They don't give a damn. They don't rally. They don't blame, like I said, the shooter or the shooter's family or his upbringing. None of this comes into play. It is only when someone who is non-black, or especially a police, shoots them that all of a sudden Black Lives Matter. Stop killing us. It's so hypocritical. And what I want to do, like I told you, is I want to read off some statistics that shows you how the whole Black Lives Matter is full of crap. Here's the first fact. I got this from Jerome Hudson from Breitbart. All right. This is an article. You can get this online. Just, Google it and pull it up. And if you think I'm lying to you, okay? Fact number one, over 1,400 more black Americans murdered other blacks in 2 years than were lynched from 1882 to 1968. Yeah, that's 1882. Do you realize how long that is? That is, let's see, 68, 18, 86, 8. That's, that's 86 years. Yeah. So in that time span, black folks managed to kill other black folks to the tune of not only the total amount that was lynched by white people in an 86-year period of time, but in a 2-year span of time, black folks killed 1,400 more of their own people. Remember what the Bible verse says. They're grumblers. All they want to do is grumble and complain and find fault. They don't want to look at the problems that exist inside of the black community. They don't want to look at the self-hate. They don't want to look at the poverty. They don't want to look at the drugs. They don't want to look at the single-parent households that they're coming from. They don't want to look at any of that. We need somebody to blame. Let's just blame white folks because white folks are killing us. This is one statistic that shows you, like I told you guys in the earlier video, they're full of crap. Here's the second fact. Black people, mostly men, commit a disproportionate amount of crime. Yeah. In 2012, white males were 38% of the population and committed 4,582 murders. In the same year, black males were just 6.6% of the population, but committed 5,531 murders. So yes, when they clutch their purses, when you are near them, or when they lock their door, when you're walking by them and they're in their cars, it's justified, black people. They're supposed to fear your black ass. They have good reason to do so. So cut out all your whining and complaining. Which Jew tells you that you are those kind of people, that you're complaining, that people know statistics that your dumbass don't know, and you're just expecting everybody just to treat you just equal. Well, hold on. You know what? In an idealistic world, in a perfect world, yeah, that's what they're supposed to do. But when you know how many murders are being committed by you rascals, you might want to use a little bit of common sense when you're dealing with people. Okay? Here's a third fact. Despite making up just 13% of the population, blacks committed half of the homicides in the United States for nearly 30 years. Yeah. Let me read that one more time. Despite making up just 13% of the population, blacks committed half of the homicides in the United States for nearly 30 years. Yeah, the Department of Justice statistics show that between 1980 and 2008, these statistics are old. They're probably even worse by now. Black people committed 52% of homicides. You're only 13% of the population, and you commit over half of the homicides. That means there's a lot of black folks sending people to the morgue. But according to these people that are, with Black Lives Matter and all of these liberals, they want you to think that every black person walking around is a freaking saint. They're just so good. They do no wrong. The guy could be up there selling crack in front of a store or whatever. The minute he gets shot by a police officer, he was doing nothing wrong. This is the narrative that they keep selling in the media, where they want you to say, oh man, I must be racist if I'm saying the truth about these niggers. I must be racist. Yeah, I'm just telling the truth. This is how people think. This is where this comes from. This is where this name gets attached from, because they know the stats. That's the reason why the police are on edge when they go into black neighborhoods. That's the reason why they pull out their guns and they shoot them much faster. I'm going to get to some of the statistics about that sooner. In a little bit. This is the reason why. Fact number 4. Chicago's death toll is almost equal to that of both wars in Iraq and Afghanistan combined. Do you understand what that means? That means that in Chicago, there are a ton of degenerates killing one another. These are barbarians. These are nothing more than thugs, murderers, killers. Nobody wants to call them that. Even when Hillary Clinton told the truth and said, hey, we got to bring them to heel, everybody said, oh my goodness, no, you're talking about the super predators. Oh, that's racist. Oh, you don't talk about us. It's like time out for this shit, man. When are we going to call a spade a spade? When are we going to say, hey, this group of people over here, they're a problem? When are we going to do that? Or are we going to continue to keep this whole Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter? When are we going to do away with the shenanigans and tell the truth and realize that there's a huge problem in the black community? Huge problem. That's a lot of hate, okay? So when you hear people talk, they're killing us. You know what? Just tell them, say, you know what? I understand where you're coming from. Just ignore their asses, okay? Because they're trying to get you into the whole, you know what, feel sorry for me. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get you to sympathize with them. Oh, we're just, innocent victims. People just picking on us. No, you're evil. You're wicked. You're murderous. It's the same reasons why black people were kicked out of Israel, okay, for being murderous. All right? Same reason why. Go read your Bible. It'll tell you that's why they got kicked out. Anyway, fact number 5. It would take cops 40 years to kill as many black men as have died at the hands of other black men in 2012 alone. Yeah. It would take them 40 years. That's the reason why you can't pay attention to these psyops on the news, where they just want to see, oh, we're just helpless. They're just killing us. But you don't freaking pay attention to any of the freaking gang violence. You don't care anything about Ray Ray and Pookie shooting each other, sending each other to the morgue. You don't care anything about the gang violence that was going on in the 90s in freaking LA. You don't care anything about the Chicago violence. You don't care about the New York violence, people killing each other in freaking Texas, freaking Atlanta, St. Louis. You don't give a crap about any of that stuff, man. All you want to do is point the finger. It's the white man. It's the police killing us. I'm sick and tired of it. I want to riot. But when your own kill your own, you freaking are silent. You have no answer for this. You have no answer at all. Your only answer is, I got to blame some white folks. I got to blame white folks. I'm not going to blame our family structure, which is crap. There's no men in the home. I'm not going to blame that. I'm not going to blame my mom for not working with my father or anything, or, all these, destroyed households. We're not going to blame any of that. All we're going to do is we're going to continue to blame the police, because anytime that the police attempts to come and correct us, they're wrong. How dare them come in here and arrest Pookie? He's doing nothing wrong. He's just selling a little bit of drugs. That's it. What harm is there in that? He's just being a neighborhood hoodlum. He's just sticking people up, just beating them up. That's it. That's nothing wrong. This is the mentality of black people. I want to read something else to you. There's another statistic. There are a few other statistics that I want to go over that allows you to see how full of crap this whole Black Lives Matter movement is. All right. The first statistic, well, this is like probably number 6 or 7 now in these statistics. Cops killed nearly twice as many whites as blacks in 2015. That was a year ago. I'm going to read that one more time. Cops killed nearly twice as many whites as blacks in 2015. Have you heard any white people create any movements called White Lives Matter? Have you seen them protest about it? Hell no. Because they're not the grumblers that Jude 116 talks about. That's not them. Talk about you black folks. Belly aching. Here's what it says. It says, according to data compiled by the Washington Post, 50% of the victims of fatal police shootings were white. 50%. While 26% were black. The majority of these victims had a gun or were armed or otherwise threatening the officer with potentially lethal force. You hear that? For all of you want to apologize and make excuses for this hard-headed rascal, freaking Alton Sterling, who got killed a couple days ago. All right? They were telling him, get on the ground. They had tased him already. He was still standing there. He was drunk. He had a gun in his pocket. You see, after they shot him, what happened? They went and reached in his pocket. He had a gun in his pocket. That's why they had to subdue him. Black people who don't understand justice, who think he should have been able to keep his gun in his pocket with a laundry list of felonies when he shouldn't have had a gun in the first place. But according to you, he was doing nothing wrong. According to the law, he was in possession of a firearm when he was a felon. That's something wrong. That's something that gets people killed when you have guns in the hands of the wrong kind of people. Just to give you the law. I know that doesn't matter to black folks. You guys don't give a crap about the law. Okay? I don't even know what black folks give a crap what they care about. I really don't. Okay? Here's another one. More white and Hispanics die from police homicides than blacks. I'm read that one more time, okay? More whites and Hispanics die from police homicides than blacks. How many Hispanic people have you seen take up a cause and start marching and saying that they're sick and tired of the police killing them? How many? 0. 12% of white and Hispanic homicide deaths were due to police officers, while only 4% of black homicide deaths were the result of police officers. So this is what you have these rascals rioting in different cities across the United States about. This 4% of them that are killed by the police, acting as if they're just hunted. Oh no, I'm not safe. Go look at social media. Go look at your Facebook page. Oh, I'm so happy my son is safe tonight. There might be a target on him. Yeah, you're damn right. It might be a target if you got him around those freaking degenerate thugs. That's the problem. That's your threat. But if you listen to CNN, they'll tell you, oh my goodness, a cop just drove by. You might want to shield your son. He may just want to stick his gun out the window and pop him in the chest because he just doesn't like black guys. This is how stupid you got to be to believe the narrative that is being sold to you. By the celebrities too. Ignore all of their crap. All of them. All the comedians, the rappers, the athletes, ignore their crap. They're in bed with all this nonsense. There we go. The New York Post data shows that unarmed black men are more likely to die by the gun of a cop than an unarmed white man. Yeah. In August 2005, the ratio was 7-1 of unarmed black men dying from police gunshots compared to unarmed white men. The ratio was 6-1 by the end of 2015. But this is something that's a little bit misleading. The unarmed label is literally accurate, but it frequently fails to convey highly charged policing situations, which is what was happening just a couple of days ago when the officers were attempting to subdue the armed Alton Sterling. I don't care what you say. He didn't have his gun in his hand. Well, he was attempting to get to his gun, okay? He says, in a number of cases, if the victim ended up being unarmed, it was certainly not for lack of trying. At least 5 black victims had reportedly tried to grab the officer's gun or had beaten the cop with his own equipment. Some were shot from an accidental discharge triggered by their own assault on the officer. And 2 individuals included in the post unarmed black victims category were struck by stray bullets aimed at someone else in justified cop shootings. I'm pretty sure you guys saw the video, I think it was on WorldStar, where the officer comes into the interrogation room. You have the black guy sitting down, and before you know it, the black guy is in a tussle with him for his own gun, attempting to shoot him with his own gun in the interrogation room. Okay? But if that guy would have gotten his gun out of the holster and would have shot, if the police officer would have had to shoot that guy inside of the interrogation room, uproar. I can't believe that. You shot him. He was not armed. He was attempting to take the life of the police officer. Black folks don't want to hear that because, like I said, Jude 1:16. These people are grumblers and fault finders. That's it. It's never the fault of the black person. The black people, they are faultless. Because you know why? They said they want to believe this slave mentality. They believe, oh, well, because we was a slave, then we never do wrong. We never rob banks. We never assault people. We never kill anybody because we were former slaves. They want to wear this slave mentality, this slave label for the rest of their lives. Like it makes them immune from ever being guilty of anything. And it is pure stupidity. Pure. Here's another one. Black and Hispanic police officers are more likely to fire a gun at blacks than white officers. Yeah, this according to a Department of Justice report in 2015 about the Philadelphia Police Department, and is further confirmed that by a study conducted by University of Pennsylvania criminologist Gary Ridgway in 2015 that determined black cops were 3.3 times more likely to fire a gun than other cops at a crime scene. So that right there is letting you know that this whole, these white officers are trigger happy. That's a bunch of crap. Because this one report, this isolated report here shows that the black officers were 3.3 times more likely to fire that gun at a crime scene. But black folks don't care about statistics, man. Okay? They don't care about that. I actually was, I witnessed this one time. I saw a gentleman. He was like a homeless guy. He was outside of a convenience store, and the cops rolled up on him. And when the cops rolled up on him, it was actually like two cop cars that rolled up. It was 2 black officers that came out. And the guy had what looked like a paring knife in his hand. Okay, I don't think he could have done any damage to anybody really. Okay, it was a very small little knife. Before they even got up on the guy, they took out their guns and they started shooting him. I could not believe how they were doing it. I couldn't even believe it. I was like, they didn't even ask him a question, what his name was or anything. They yelled something at him. I think the guy was like on drugs or something. They just started shooting the guy like a freaking animal. That was one incident that I was able to see them pull out their guns and just start shooting. Black officers, okay? But, they don't want to hear that. Here's one of the last things. I'm wrapping this thing up. I know I've taken a lot of your time, but I needed to tell you guys this stuff. Blacks are more likely to kill cops than be killed by cops. I'm going to say that one more time. Blacks are more likely to kill cops than be killed by cops. According to FBI data, which found that 40% of cop killers are black. You're wondering why these white police officers roll up and they're on edge. You wonder why they take precautions. Here you had, talk about the Alton Sterling shooting, you had two white guys. Those two white guys that were tussling with Alton Sterling, they didn't look like they were thin ends either. They looked to be rather thick. They looked to be, muscle bound. They like they could probably eat a couple donuts, but they were struggling with this guy. In fact, there's a passage in the Bible. It says that one of them will be stronger. Okay, and we're one of them, I believe. I believe on average, black guys are stronger than white guys. Just on average, just get into a regular fight. Okay, that's just what I believe. But anyway, 40% of cop killers are black. The police officer is 18.5 times more likely to be killed by a black than a cop killing an unarmed black person. With those numbers, they are supposed to do things to make sure that they can go home and see their wife and their children. I don't blame them. Would I want to be killed if I was a cop by some thug? Who hasn't had his ass whooped ever? Who is freaking, has no moral compass? Who's corrupt as all get out? Would I want to, get killed by him? Or would I want to subdue him? And if I had to, would I want to just, shoot him? Just common sense, man. So for all of you apologists, you thug apologists, because that's what you are, you don't care anything about the good people that die, the innocent people that die. All you care about is, did a thug die? That's all they want to know. If they can put up an image of some thug or thugette on CNN and say, I don't know why he shot Randy. He was doing nothing. As long as they can put that up on the TV, man, black folks run out in droves. Oh, no, Justice, no peace. Black Lives Matter. But let it be a sophisticated, well-read black person. I'm not sure why, my husband was shot, or, we were doing what we were supposed to do. And, black folks don't care. They don't give a crap. They're not going to protest. They're not going to do any of that. And let me ask you a question. What does marching do? What does tearing up your community do? Right. I rest my case. Peace.